Jujutsu Kaisen came out in 2020 and it took over the internet. It was even breaking records in 2022 with JJK 0. I have always heard of JJK. It was impossible to not hear about if you had access to the internet. I've seen all the popular clips on the internet, but it was never enough for me to watch it. Thanks to you guys, I took a deep dive into JJK and I have a lot to talk about. I will be going through the series piece by piece, so here's my honest review on Jujutsu Kaisen. First time I saw Yuji, he gave me so little to work with. Yuji is simple, he seems very nonchalant and easygoing, kind of like going with the motions of life with no purpose, until his grandfather dies and tells him to be strong and help others. Yuji now has motive. When Yuji eats the cursed finger, it was an act of selflessness, and it was a really cool moment, but something threw me off about it. I felt like Yuji was not his own character at all, feeling like he was doing these actions for his grandfather. The other reason why I have a problem with this moment is because before this, it feels like Yuji was just a hollow shell and now he's jumping through windows trying to save his friends. It seems like he just randomly got a spark of selflessness and it felt really weird. I never really felt like this towards a main character the first time I saw them, so I kind of was disconnected with Yuji when I first got into the series. Gojo and his introduction to the story is really important. First, Gojo just tells us the main plot of the story, which the school is going to use Yuji to eat Sukuna's fingers, and then right after they will kill Yuji so Sukuna could be gone for good. Secondly, Gojo brings Yuji to the principal, and this moment I really like a lot because it just proves to the audience that Yuji really doesn't have his own motive. He doesn't know why he's doing what he does, and the principal tells him that he needs to find his own motive to life. Let's get real. Interesting for me when Yuji and Megumi run into their first special grade. The special grade is a tool in the story to show me that Yuji and Megumi have a lot of training they have to do. This is the first time I felt for Yuji, seeing him have regrets while facing death, and him having to resort to Sukuna made him have more character for me. The first time seeing Sukuna take control of Yuji's body, I fell into the impression that Sukuna will be a constant force Yuji will have to deal with throughout the series. Kind of like in Kaiju number 8, Kafka is not strong, so he has to rely on the Kaiju inside of him, but it puts himself and the people around him in a bad situation. JJK does not do that with Sukuna, and I give them props for it. It really threw me off a little bit. Megumi versus Sukuna is still one of my favorite moments, even while writing this script. Megumi having the courage to even fight Sukuna says a lot. A couple of minutes ago, he was too scared to move against a special grade. I usually love characters who put their lives on the line even when they're terrified. For example, Usopp in One Piece. These are usually my favorite types of characters. This interaction becomes even more interesting when we see Sukuna see something inside of Megumi. I love characters who have some hidden potential inside them, so this really made me become a Megumi fanboy. Now with Yuji's alleged death, it gives Megumi and Obara the motivation to get stronger, and they go into their training arcs with Maki and the others. For a while I've been waiting for the main antagonist to show up, and I know it's not Sukuna, or at least yet, and then Suguru appears to push the plot. Suguru is by far the most mysterious character. Looking back on season 1, I don't get anything about him. He was just moving the pieces in the background and I really didn't get what his true purpose was. I guess is where I needed to watch the movie to understand him more. Another thing I liked is that the higher ups of the school set up Yuji and Megumi to fight that special grade so that Yuji could die, and they really didn't care if Megumi died either. The higher ups being antagonists was a twist I wasn't expecting, but I really liked it a lot. Now with the last incident with the special grade, Yuji needs to go on his training arc to learn cursed energy. The training method Gojo uses for Yuji to learn cursed energy is amazing to me. Yuji watched movies to feel different emotions so he could use cursed energy was funny and smart. We already knew what Yuji was capable of physically, but he was still missing out on a lot with no real control over his cursed energy. I like this training method. Not everything in shonen always has to be physical when it comes to training. For example, let's look at Naruto. You remember when he goes with Jiraiya so he could learn the Rasengan? He really didn't do nothing physical. We really seen him play with that ball so he could master his wind control and he could do the Rasengan. And then it was really satisfying when we see him fight Sasuke on top of the hospital building and we see Naruto blast a giant Rasengan hole into the giant pillar. It shows us the progress and not everything has to be physical, and it's more mental and tapping into their true potential. Yuji picks up on his training really fast and I'm not surprised. One thing that I wish they get into probably next season is why Yuji is so fast and strong already before he even gets Sukuna. I still don't understand that much. Gojo versus Jogo was really just a flex fight the whole time to show us how strong Gojo really is. I've never seen a character like Gojo in a story. Yes, he is a main character, but he's not the actual main character. That's Yuji. So seeing a character this strong that everybody's scared of, and it basically seems like he's unbeatable, Gojo is just a rare character, and I really didn't know how I feel about it. I can see why Gojo is so popular for. He's not one of my favorites because of his fights. He's one of my favorites because of his relationship with Yuji and his comic relief in scenes. Let's talk about the boy that lost everything, Junpei. I really felt sympathetic for him the whole time I watched his section. From a boy who got bullied and nobody ever tried to help him, he felt alone, and he got to a point where he couldn't even go to school anymore. That's why I can't even be mad when Junpei goes with Mahito. Mahito act like he wanted to help Junpei, but he really was just using him. But Junpei probably felt like that was his home and he had nowhere else to go. Even though Junpei went down the wrong path, I really can't be mad at him for it. That's why I feel really bad when Junpei loses his mother, because he finds a real friend in Yuji, but now that his mother's gone, he does reckless things and tries to kill people at his school, and now Junpei has to fight Yuji. When Junpei dies, I was distraught. I thought he was going to be a part of the trio, and it really didn't feel right at all seeing him go. Yuji just seeing his friend die, he really couldn't comprehend it and he blacks out. Yuji, the character saying that he wouldn't kill anybody, now has a new goal, a motive that he will kill Mahito and he will never lose again. Yuji needed this experience, not saying I'm happy that Junpei died, but he needed to realize being a Jujutsu sorcerer, he will not be able to save everybody and he will need to kill people. This is why Mahito is my favorite antagonist so far. He gives Yuji his motive, and also he gives me the most tension out of all the other villains in the series. I really appreciate his character for that. Now that Yuji finds his new motive, he has to deal with his real test now. He has to fight the special grade 2 infiltrated into the exchange event. I'm really happy that they restricted Gojo during this fight. I kind of would have been upset if Gojo was able to just overpower Hanami, because I really wanted to see the new students and Yuji's new powers that they've been working on for so long. Yuji makes a huge jump in power, even rivaling Todo. I love their personalities and how they clash, and I love their relationship. Seeing how they're really much the same and they gain their respects through not with words but through their fists. Todo alone became one of my favorite characters during this section. I thought he was just going to be a big brute who was dumb, but he's actually really intelligent. His fighting IQ was insane, and I love his ability where he's able to switch spots with people during a fight. Todo and Yuji versus Hanami is my favorite fight in the series. Todo and Yuji's chemistry is amazing. I love seeing dynamic duos like that. I probably get that from watching Gurren Lagann a lot, from seeing Simon and Kamina. I really loved that fight, and it wasn't for the same reason that I loved the Mahito fight. The Mahito fight was more for Yuji's character development. This fight was just to show us how strong Yuji is now, and Todo being his support, because Hanami didn't hold that same emotional weight that Mahito did, but not everything has to be emotionally driven to be good inside of an anime. After the exchange event, that boy Megami finally got his moment. I've been waiting for this since the beginning, and I remember watching this with one of my friends, and I was literally getting mad because I just seen Megami lose every fight that he got into. When Megami uses his domain expansion, I was literally freaking out. This whole moment where we get Megami's backstory and we learn about his sister and he goes back to his school, I really think Megami needed this. I think he has the potential to be one of the greatest characters in JJK. Yuji, Megami, and Obara came a really long way at the end of season 1, and it was really satisfying to watch. I really can't explain it. Seeing this group of characters grow physically and mentally felt really rewarding for me as a viewer. Next video, I will be doing a review on the Jujutsu Kaisen 0 movie, seeing if it's as good as season 1. I feel like it's only right for me to do. So if you guys want to see that, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, comment, and peace.